For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live. Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to discuss about weak Saturn. That what are the conditions that when Saturn becomes weak in anyone's horoscope, what kind of results this weak Saturn gives, and how with certain practical remedies you can make your weak Saturn or transform your weak Saturn into a strong Saturn. So let's start this video. So see here that in particular zodiac signs, in some zodiac signs, Saturn feels uncomfortable and it is not considered to be good. These zodiac signs are Aries, Cancer, Leo and Scorpio. These are the four zodiac signs which are not comfortable zodiac signs for Saturn, because these four zodiac signs are in missile to Saturn. These are the zodiac signs of its enemies, that is Mars, Sun and Moon. So these are the three enemies of Saturn, and when Saturn sits in these zodiac signs, it is already not going to feel very comfortable. Now in Aries, it is considered to be debilitated. But if in Aries Saturn is undergoing Neech Bhanga Raj Yoga, then there will be the cancellation of debilitation and Saturn will not considered to be weak and powerless. So the results which we will talk about today in this video, they will not be applied to a Neech Bhanga Saturn. Only a weak Saturn which is not undergoing Neech Bhanga will be considered as weak, and some other conditions when Saturn becomes weak are that when Saturn is in conjunction with Mars or Sun in the horoscope and it is undergoing a planetary war. And planetary war happens when Mars and Saturn are together, or the Sun and Saturn are together mostly, and they are very close to each other in degrees. Okay, most probably they should not be very far apart in degrees, approximately 4 to 5 or 6 degrees maximum. Then they are considered in planetary war. And when Saturn is under this war zone area, especially with Mars, then it is not going to be considered good. It is going to be considered weak. And if Saturn gets defeated in the planetary war, then Saturn will be considered weak totally. It will lose its strength. So this is how Saturn becomes weak in anyone's horoscope. And apart from this, if Saturn is getting afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, then also Saturn becomes weak and loses its strength. Now you also have to see, to judge the actual position of Saturn, you have to see its condition both in Lagna chart as well as in D9 chart. In both of them you have to check it. If in D9 chart, that is Navamsha, it is becoming strong, it is sitting with positive planets in good signs, in a good house, in Kendra house, then it is considered to be good. So what this indicates is that especially after the age of 35, the positive aspects of Saturn are going to happen in your life. This is what it indicates, because now Saturn is becoming positive in your D9. But if Saturn is becoming weak in D9 also and in Lagna chart also, then Saturn is considered to be totally weak and powerless. And now Saturn will give some particular results. Now what are these results? Let's talk about them. So first result is that when Saturn becomes weak or afflicted in anyone's horoscope, it increases the lethargy in body. The person will be very inactive because of excessive lethargy in body and laziness. The lifestyle of the person is going to be totally unorganized and indisciplined. All the things are going to be totally in an unorganized manner. There will be no cleanliness in the environment or the surroundings where the person lives, and carelessness will be heavily increased in the person's attitude. So this is what kind of results that Saturn gives when it becomes weak. It also makes the person aimless and reduces the concentration power. Now the person is not able to focus on any kind of work. First, because of his lethargy, and another is because of low concentration power. The person is not able to focus easily on any kind of work. Another thing is that when Saturn becomes weak, it also can give problems like headache or migraine, especially if Sun is also not in a good position, then it can show this. Now Saturn rules your digestive system. So it can indicate that person may suffer from any sort of digestive problem, like he may have some constipation or some other gastric problem. He can have that because Saturn is now becoming weak. So your digestive system is now not very strong because of Saturn. And Saturn and Sun, these are the two planets which control your bones. So if Sun is strong, then it is okay, but if Sun is not strong and Saturn is already weak, then your bones are going to be afflicted. Means that now the strength in the bones is not going to be there. Bones are going to become weak, and person may suffer problems related to bones like pain in the knees, arthritis, or pain in the feet. These sort of problems can happen when Saturn becomes weak. Saturn also represents your subordinates and servants. So this shows that person may have problems through his subordinates or his servants, because Saturn is now becoming weak. So now the person can have problems through these people who are below you. You can suffer problems through them. And it also increases your debts, because Saturn is the planet which represents loans. If Saturn is well placed, then if the person takes loans or debts, he is going to easily repay them. But if Saturn becomes weak in the horoscope, then the debts of the person are going to be increased heavily, and the person will not be at the same time able to repay his debts. This is what happens when Saturn becomes weak. Another thing is that it makes person indecisive and impatient, because Saturn represents your patience. Saturn represents your ability to decide properly with your experience. Now when Saturn becomes weak, these people become indecisive and impatient, and they do not learn from their previous mistakes. So this is what Saturn gives, and they take hasty decisions, due to which in future they will suffer more problem. So this kind of attitude becomes when Saturn is weak in the horoscope. Saturn also represents mechanical equipments, okay, and appliances. All the things which are related to mechanics, they are governed by Saturn. So the appliances, mechanical equipments or appliances in your house or your vehicles, they are going to create some problems regularly. That can also be seen with a weak Saturn. So if you are facing such kind of problems, this means that in some or another way Saturn is becoming weak in your horoscope. Another thing is that Saturn makes the person indulge in bad habits like intoxication or gambling. These kind of bad habits are going to be there in the person when Saturn goes weak, because now the person is not able to decide that what is right or what is wrong, and he is not able to learn properly from his mistakes. So Saturn now takes the person towards all sorts of bad things. And one reason for this is that also your Shadripu increases. Their Shadripu means 6 enemies. In Hindi it is called Shadripu. Actually it means 6 enemies of person, 6 enemies of man. They are desires, anger, greed, jealousy, attachment and ego. These are the 6 enemies of man. This is known as Shadripu. So the intensity or the amount of these negative qualities, now the Shadripu is going to be increased due to weak Saturn. So automatically the person is going to go in any sort of bad area, and bad habits are going to be there in the person. Now if we talk about some symptoms which you can see and you can judge that your Saturn is becoming weak, is that the person can have bluish or violet nails. Means there will be a tinge of bluish color or your violet color in the nails, means fingernails, and dark circles start to come below the eyes, and heat spots or dark spots on the face start to occur. So this is if this is happening, this means that Saturn is some or the other way in the horoscope is not strong. Now since Saturn also represents your career, it is the natural karak of the 10th house. 10th house is the house of career. So this also shows that when Saturn becomes weak, you might face some problems in your career, or in your workplace, especially regarding your subordinates, you can suffer problems. So these are the results that Saturn gives when it becomes weak. But our main aim is that how to reverse these results and how to make our weak Saturn, transform the weak Saturn into a stronger one. So this you can do by following some practical remedies. Now what are these remedies? The first one is become as much active as you can. Remove your lethargy, reduce your lethargy from your body and become as much active as you can, because now Saturn is already giving you excessive lethargy in your body. When you are going to become active, negativity of the Saturn is already going to reduce automatically. Next thing is follow a disciplined and organized lifestyle. Keep your things in an organized manner. Do not keep them in unorganized manner. Wherever you sit, wherever you sleep, whatever you do it in an organized manner. Keep all your things arranged in a particular pattern, in a particular manner, and do not leave things just like that. Next thing is that try to meditate for at least 15 minutes in a day. This is going to increase your concentration power and it will increase your focus in any kind of work, because Saturn, when it is weak, it is not going to let you focus on a particular work easily. So if you are going to at least meditate for 15 minutes during a day, it will help you a lot. If you can do more than that, then it is very good, but try for at least 15 minutes. It will definitely increase your concentration as well as your focus in any kind of work. Next thing is that do not take decisions in hurry. Do not take decisions in a haste. Hasty decisions are going to create problem for you, because Saturn is becoming weak and you are losing your patience. So increase your patience. Consult from experts, consult from your family members, and then take any particular decision. Do not do it in a haste. Treat your subordinates and servants very nicely. That is going to increase the strength of your Saturn. Okay, because Saturn represents servants and your subordinates. So if you are going to behave with them in a very nice manner, you are going to treat with them nicely, then Saturn will automatically start to become strong. Another thing is that stay away from any sort of bad habits like intoxication, drinking or drugs or smoking, all these, or gambling. Stay away from these things. I know it is very difficult when a person who is addicted to these things, he cannot leave these things, but take medical help if you want that, but leave these things, because Saturn is already weak. It is going to give more negative results if you are not going to do this thing. You have to stay away from any sort of bad habits. Another thing which you can do is you can offer water, give water to Lord Sun daily in the morning. This is a very simple remedy, but it is a very strong remedy and it works. The reason is that when you give water to Lord Sun, the rays of Sun provide you energy. Okay, they will come into your body and they will give you energy. It will boost your stamina and it will ultimately reduce your lethargy. So you will become active, you will get energy. So Saturn will automatically start to become positive in your horoscope. Next thing is that help poor and needy people as much as you can. Okay, within your limits, help poor and needy people as much as you can. Then another thing is that always take your debts in limits. First of all, do not take debts if they are not required. If they are required, take them in your particular limits. Do not take excessive debts, because it will be a very big problem to repay them if Saturn is weak. So take debts in your limits always. Then you can also worship Lord Hanumanji. If you are a Hindu, then you can worship him, and you can also wear an iron ring in your right middle finger. Okay, in the middle finger of your right hand, you can wear an iron ring on any Saturday. So these are some particular remedies, practical remedies. If you are going to follow them, your Saturn is definitely going to become positive slowly and slowly, and you will feel these changes within you. You will feel that you are becoming more energetic day by day and your lethargy is reducing. You will feel that now the problems which were there previously because of weak Saturn, they are starting to reduce, and one day they will totally subside. So follow these remedies and your Saturn will definitely become strong. So I think that you might have understood that when Saturn becomes weak, what are its results and how you can make your Saturn strong. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website, Twitter and Facebook page. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.